Um, Ms. Perron, I want to go back. I'll start at the micro level and then pull out, and then you can choose where to step in. I was speaking with a really brilliant young Indigenous researcher the other day from Treaty 9 who expressed her frustration that she was told she was gathering data on Indigenous subjects in a non-Indigenous environment. And she said, like, being even able to explain what Indigenous data and knowledge meant in a non-Indigenous world, they were like, well, you're Indigenous, figure it out. But these are complex, and these are about respect, and these are about, again, knowledge is power. And so she felt very like trying to work in an institution that doesn't have the frame made her work very difficult. So I ask you that, given that Capstone is going to step in, and we don't know the structure, we don't know how the money flows, we don't know how the governance works. We don't know if it's just another great idea of bureaucracy that's just going to sit there. How do we actually make sure that carved out space is there to have that Indigenous perspective protected, and how can that be? Is it possible?
I appreciate that you highlighted attention, and one that I can feel today, even in our witness testimony, in the binaries that get presented between science and Indigenous knowledges. And I don't have the answer. I think we really do need to speak with more Indigenous peoples in order to understand that. And whether or not we stay within a capstone organization and have our own sort of distinct governing structure, which we're working towards with the CIRC plan, or if we go into something very distinct and separate as Indigenous research agency, but more consultation is needed. In terms of other, I think, concerns and recommendations within that, certainly we do see the need for an appointment of Indigenous diverse representation on the Advisory Council on Science and Innovation. And so we also really appreciate being able to have a conversation with Dr. Nemmer, hopefully in the not too far future. Also recognition of the transdisciplinary nature of our knowledge systems itself, and that we go beyond even the disciplines. And as you talked about earlier, our knowledge is rooted in land and place and peoples. And so seeing that as being a pivotal element that must continue. And I think that's a way for us to begin to break down some of these knowledge hierarchies and these silos that get created. And as you already alluded to as well, really ensuring that we are respecting and protecting Indigenous collective intellectual property rights in all forms. And moving forward, also really concertedly looking at enhancing Indigenous data sovereignty. I think that's an area of growth that we could really work towards.